crafters, it's Cynthia. I am back with another video, and today I decided that I'm going to do something that is new to me, and that is creating a galaxy background. So the first time I did this was just a couple days ago, and I was just kind of trying to think of something that I could do. I felt like doing a little ink blending, and I realized that I still had never tried to do a galaxy. So I thought today was a good day to start. So anyway, I am just going to go ahead and use a piece of my Bristol Smooth cardstock, and it's extremely thick and of course extremely smooth, and I thought that would hold up well. The other two that I made, I used watercolor paper, which I knew would work beautifully, and of course it did. So hopefully it's going to look nice on the Bristol Smooth as well. And one of the reasons that this technique appeals to me in particular is because your ink blending does not have to be flawless and perfect. So that immediately reduces the stress, and that's why I wanted to try it. So I just reached into my little inks and just started grabbing colors. And obviously you can do anything that you want to do. The galaxy, whenever you see images of outer space and things like that, and beautiful constellations and things, there's lots and lots of fabulous colors. So really it's just up to your imagination. So I pulled out, of course, my black soot ink, my wild honey, twisted citron, peacock feathers, and wilted violet. So I am going to start with the lightest color. And again, I'm just going to randomly pick spots and just get some color down. The first one I made was a little bit light, which was totally fine, but the second one I made, I went over it more and made the color richer, and I preferred that. So I'm going to do the same thing now and put on a fair amount of ink. This is nice though. This Bristol Smooth is actually beautiful for blending. It didn't blend this well on my watercolor paper. So see? Bristol Smooth is new to me, and I can definitely see why people love it. It is awesome. So this is doesn't have to follow any kind of a pattern, and I just want to make sure that I get nice little areas of color. There. That is so pretty. Nice and colorful. Yeah, really, I'm not kidding when I say that the Bristol Smooth blends really nicely. So let me just do a real quick wipe up. Oh my gosh, I accidentally cut my craft mat with my X-Acto knife the other day. I don't know what possessed me. I mean, I have no reason to believe that it's cut proof, and it's not. Hey, big surprise. So anyway, I accidentally cut it, but I taped it on the other side, and I'm just going to go with it because I'm not sure what I paid for my craft mat, but it wasn't cheap necessarily. I don't want to have to buy a new one if I don't absolutely need to. So anyway, don't panic when you see me coming in with black. I know it's a little shocking, but this is a very important part of your galaxy. So I am just going to, you know, be generous with the black, but definitely leave lots of open areas of color. So this is where you just kind of have to let yourself go. Just wing it and trust that it'll be okay in the end. Okay, I think that's good. I better stop before I really go crazy. Okay, so that worked out well. And one more spritz to clean up my black. Now, this has all been colored, and I'm not going to add any more color. So when you get to this point, look it over, make sure that it's colored the way that you're happy with, and then go ahead and take your water bottle, any sort of water bottle that you have. And this is where using watercolor paper is nice, because of course it's going to take the water well. Alright, so I'm just going to let that sit for a moment, and then I'm going to press down with a paper towel, and it's going to absorb some of that paint. I say paint, I meant ink. And then you lift it away. There. Isn't that nice? So see, by doing that, you're giving it a soft focus, and it's also starting to look just like space, you know, it's got depth to it, and there's interest in there. There's stuff going on. Because you don't want your universe to be a boring place, do you? No way. You want it exciting. That's weird. It's not giving me plops anymore. Oops. And of course, you know, I don't want to go too crazy. Alright, so there's some really nice sized drops. And again, I'm just going to let that sit for a moment, because the longer it sits there, it's going to start wicking up that ink. Right. Now, for the final step, you're going to do a little bit of splattering with white. And the only white paint that I really have, I've got a good sized bottle here of the Liquitex acrylic gesso, and this is just a nice opaque white paint, and it's acrylic paint, so it's water soluble, very easy to use. And what you want to do, I'm going to shake this up pretty good. What you want to do is get yourself a good sized drop of paint, and see how nice and thick that is? It's very creamy and thick, which is good. And I'm going to make just a little pile of water here. And this is where, I don't want to say I struggled, but I like my little stars to be as white as possible. So the first time I did this, my little droplets were awfully watered down. And even though that was great as far as flinging it off the brush is concerned, when they dried, they didn't look too much different than the droplets you already see. So I'm going to see just how thick I can keep this acrylic. And this again, whoa, see, not good. Oh gracious. Well, here, super quick. It's a shooting star. Yeah, see what I mean? Okay, let's try this again. Take two. So this is a little more watery. See, I just can't get the amount of splatter I want. And of course it's flinging everywhere, which is another issue. So this is where you're going to want to use some sort of a box. You know, do this in a box, do this outside, do this, you know, on your back porch, you know, somewhere that if you're flinging paint around, it's not going to hurt anything. But this is working well enough. I'll just have to clean up a bit afterwards. So there we go. All right, I'm going to call that good before I accidentally have another splotch. Let me just do a little wipe. So that is, in a nutshell, basically the galaxy background technique. So this is the first panel I ever made. And so this is the Strathmore watercolor paper that I like to use. And as you can see, my sponging was quite a bit lighter. But then I did the big splatters from my other spray bottle. And so you can kind of see what that looks like. And then I also did the watered down acrylic paint. And so that's a softer look. I'll put them side by side so you can see the difference in color intensity. So it just depends on what you're going for. I tend to gravitate towards the more intense one, but they're both fine. And then the second panel I made, I went a little bit darker with the colors. Again, it's on watercolor paper, and I found this rocket and these stars in a silhouette cut file. So I cut them out, I sponge painted them with my distress ink so that they kind of, you know, have a similar look. And then again, I just typed this out in my Silhouette software with a font and then printed it out and cut it and then made that my sentiment. So anyway, there's a little example of a card. So there are a lot of super cute astronaut and outer space stamp sets out there. So I don't happen to have any, which is why I used cut files, but you can really have a lot of fun making things with this. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope that you're going to give this a try. I first just saw people using this technique several years ago, so it's kind of silly I waited this long, but I did. So now that I've discovered the joy of galaxy making, I can see myself doing this quite a bit. So thank you for joining me. If you like this video, please click like, and if you want to subscribe, that would be great, and then you could see all of my videos just as soon as they come out. So you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.